Hello and welcome to Opinions Plus. Why doesn't everybody care about the environment? Why? I can't explain why people don't care until tragedy strikes. They have the ability to think ahead. They have the soul to pray for inspiration, and yet they don't. People in authority do not act as if they have the authority to act. They're either afraid or their power structure is such that they makes them just act a certain way. But this is the most important issue that affects everybody on earth. And yet the question remains, why doesn't everybody care about the environment? It's so obvious. It's so important. And yet ignored. There are groups and people who have committed their lives to finding answers, to like Greenpeace, for example. And yet, what does it do? How does it change the world's attitude in general to one of the most existential crises that this world is facing? Doesn't anybody care? Not enough people care? Do you have an answer? I certainly don't. But the question has to be asked time and time again. I spent a lot of these clips on politics and foundational issues of morality and action and character. These all blend in to what? To our future. That is what the environment is, our future. People talk about, well, let's care about children and abortion, but they don't care about how these children are going to live with the impacts of environmental concerns surrounding them. Why not? Why can't that brain that hates abortion extend itself to the problems of the environment, which will kill people, which has killed people, which will impact billions? Not just the few children whose parents think that an abortion is the right thing to do at the time. I don't get it. I can't get my head around many of the problems that face humanity, except that people just don't care. They don't care enough. They're not inspired enough to take action, to vote for people who care about the future, not just lining their pockets and not just getting corporate greed the advantage, whatever position you want to take on that. I think it's idiotic. It's more than idiotic. It's on the same plane as war. War is insanity, socially accepted insanity. While this ignoring the environmental concerns that surround us, whether you can do anything or not, that's not the question. The question is bring it to the fore. You don't know what you can do until you try. And these people are not doing it. And sadly, it's many people on the so-called right. And it's not the right way to be. I said in one clip, make the good right real. Make the good right real. And that has to be. So this clip is a reminder. Not that I can, say, okay, do this, do that. There's billions of issues out there, and they're just people. People don't care. People will put oil in the ground or, bury gasoline in wherever, just to dump it. And of course, when I was a kid, what did we do? We didn't recycle oil that we drained from the cars. People don't do much of that anymore, but people still do change their own oil. You have gasoline for your mowers that, gets old. What do you do with it? Dig a hole and drop it somewhere? Pollute the groundwater? Does anybody care? Yes, they do. But it's not raised high enough in the sphere of influence, the social influence that we need to make it an essential part of the thinking, of the actions of all of us. Environment is number one. Now, can, I offer a solution to this? No, I can't. But I think there are people, because there is technology out there that is growing. Check it out. It's tremendous what can be done. But it takes an effort on the part of all, not just one or two people, not just one corporation that says this or that. The effort to make electric vehicles popular. Well, okay, it can help to some degree, but it takes a lot of energy to create solar or to create electric power. And right now they're shying away from atomic power and going to, solar and wind and all these things, which are good policy issues. But they take space, they take manufacturing, all requiring power, which is usually natural gas or some other issue. Plastics, big problem. Some are biodegradable, some aren't. They're making fun of plastic straws. Ha ha. I love my plastic straw. I heard that Sean Hannity guy. Intelligent man. I guess he's making, $15 million a year or something? I don't know, some outrageous amount of money. And all he can think of is, I love my plastic straw. I hate the paper. It gets the liquid up to your mouth one way or the other, doesn't it? No, but I want to languish my paper straw in my drink for 3 hours. I don't know, whatever the heck it is, it's in their heads. But they miss the whole point. And it's not just because a turtle eats it or a seagull eats it or a whale gets ingested by it or it clogs the landfills or whatever. It's not just, it's the attitude towards it all. And it's critical, imperative. And I mentioned war before. One of the environmental concerns in this war in the Ukraine is the threat that Putin puts out there about applying nuclear weapons, destroying an environment, creating a nuclear holocaust, leads to nuclear winter. Idiotic, stupid, beyond stupid, totally insane. But it's a concern. Yet we don't deal with it straight on. We don't talk about it straight up. We have to. And, there was, I was just reading about a volcano back in, 150,000 years ago. There's been recent ones since, but this was a big guy. Just like when Yellowstone Park goes up. This was big. Covered the earth with, gas and ash, and almost destroyed humanity in its infancy as it began its progress towards what we are today. And I don't remember the exact time frame, 150,000 years ago, whatever. But anyway, they're doing drillings and whatnot, and they're finding all this information about the past. Horrible situation that we cannot do a thing about. If another catastrophic thing blows like Yellowstone, we can't do a thing about it. Except bury the heads in the sand or go in your little shelter if you're rich enough and extend your life a few more hours. Hopefully that'll work. Some will work, most won't. Most people will not survive it. Nuclear winter is just that. Done. And these volcanoes create the same thing as a nuclear winter. Covers the earth with a veil of gas and ash and soot and reflects the sunlight, drops the temperatures, doesn't heat, and the plants die, and so do we. But we don't talk about those things because there's nothing you can do about it. Just like Putin. Putin could push the plunger and boom, there you go. You got a nuclear war going on. Why? Because of one man's arrogance and ignorance and the supporting staff that goes with him believes in that nonsense. Whether it's a volcano or Putin or both, it doesn't matter. It's a threat. And we have to talk about it, raise the issues time and again, elevate it, because it is the number one issue. And it's not just because Miami's going to get flooded or some other city's going to get inundated. It's because it's a threat to all humanity. Does anybody care? Does anybody care about the environment? And again, the question is, well, I know that they do, but again, the question is, why doesn't everybody care? Why doesn't everybody care? Thanks for listening. If you like what you hear, you want to subscribe, please do. Hit the like button, send it on to someone, extend this range if it has some value, and comment, always comment. Thank you for your viewership, your attention to the concerns that are before us all. Have a good day. Bye for now.